Here's a great photograph. I can tell you where it's actually taken. It's actually taken at the back of the milestone.
That's right. That's Francie McGowan there.
Francie McGowan.
Yeah.
Which one is Francie now? Francie.
That's Francie there.
With the. Okay.
He was the son of the owner of the McGowans.
Yeah.
That's Neddy Rankin.
On the left. Okay.
Yeah. He was a mason.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to call him a brickie now. And he worked in Smith and Companies because they kept tradesmen as well too.
They wouldn't need them for maintenance.
Who the other men are now, I couldn't tell you.
Very hard to make this guy out. His face is so dark under the shade of the hat.
Under the hat, yeah.
And the guy on the extreme right, and again, not sure. I think we might have the names. It is difficult to see. We're looking at not a great quality print here.
One of the advantages of McGowan's, as it was then, and Landys, they had their own well and pump. So if you couldn't get water at all, you could go in there and fill your bucket on there. And you had to do that. Very few houses had water laid on. God. So you kept one or two crocks, as they call it, somewhere in the house.
Yeah.
And every evening you filled them up and covered them. Otherwise there'd be no water supply at all.
Oh my God. And could you not just go down to the canal and get a bucket of water?
Well, you couldn't drink it.
You couldn't drink
it? Not at all. The canal water you couldn't.
Oh.
But you had just down the front from Landy's pub there was a pump in Drogheda Street. And there was another one up in Chapel Street near where St. Peter and Paul School is now.
Yes.
But very often they were down, as I say. You needn't go up, the pump is down, which meant there was no suction.
And what would happen?
They'd have to get a bucket of water from somewhere and put it in. So that
to get the suction going.
To get the suction going again.
Oh my God.
It'd be the same as, what would they do?
Yeah, siphon, remember?
Siphon, that's it.
Oh,
get water
God,
but McGowan's had their own pump, and Rounds, where those photographs were taken from, Eddie Rounds, Harry Rounds, they had their own pump. But most of the big houses, we call them the gentry, had their own pumps. But
in the house, inside
no,
the house?
out in the yard.
At the back?
Yeah, but they wouldn't let you in.
But like that, it'd be a manual pump?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow, different here.
They had one down on the harbour as well too. It was famous because it was taking the water supposedly to come down to filtration from Hampton.
Yeah. And
it was known as the Gurney pump.
That's right, the Gurney well. Yeah. Because we have actually Jack Benton talking about that, and God love him, he was to go down and take a picture of it now recently, and God love him.
It went out of commission at one stage, but the water started coming out to a hole of the wall. Yeah. So people would lower down the buckets below the hole, fill it up full of water, and use it whatever way they want to bring it home.
The Gurney well, I couldn't believe it when I heard
the Gurney pump, yeah.
Yeah. Two lads on a bench.
I remember them well. That's John Murphy again on the dozer.
The dozer.
Dozer was a local barber.
Yeah.
Had over here that house of Reynolds is now he set up there.
Is that where he was in Reynolds?
He served his time to the barber Smith.
And Keys, not Keys, Mill Street.
Mill Street. Yeah. But originally on the square, Smith had a shop there.
Okay. Whereabouts on the square was it?
Where would it be now? Where the post office, where those shops are on the square. Just down from the town hall.
All right, so nearly beside the hotel.
That's right.
Okay.
And there were steps leading up to them. These are members at the time they got my hair cut in it.
Right.
But John, of course, was able. The dozer. The dozer was an expert barber. He really was. Unfortunately, had a failing. It was too near Derham's pub. So if you went in for a haircut, you give him the money now, and he wouldn't see him for 10 or 15 minutes.
I'll
be back in a flash.
I tell you, I remember Harry Reynolds, Harry Chute, God rest him, before he told me that one time he went down to get his hair cut, and your man said, "Did your mother give you the money?" Yeah. So he says he did. So he gave him the money. He went across the road, and Harry was there with his hair half cut. He went over to get your man, and he was half cut. So he said, "The two of us."
That'd be him. He was a nice singer. There's no doubt about it. But unfortunately, he lacked something upstairs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. God love him. But a character.
One of the town characters. But well known. He ended up he was a great friend of Jerry McGowan, the solicitor. Right. And without McGowan, he would have died of starvation.
Really?
Because when he lost the site in the house in Clonard Street, they put him up in a hut up where the bank is now on Dublin Street, right across from the combined clubs.
Yeah.
He was over there in that area there, but he'd have water going in a paint tin on the little fire he had to try and get people to shave people and all that. It was a complete collapse from somebody who could be one of the wealthiest men in Balbriggan had he minded himself.
But
he just didn't.
Just got better.
Indeed, unfortunately.
Again, this is.
That's the
prawns.
Yeah.
So it's a different.
Unfortunately, I don't know any of those children
I
at
think
all.
we may, because we put these on the website.
Yeah.
And I think we did get a few names. All right.
Oh yeah, the younger generation now would know them all right.
Yeah.
It would be beyond me.
That's grand. Do you know who these two gentlemen
Indeed, I do.
are?
Yeah.
Hammond, I think, is one of them.
That's Joe Hammond. He worked in Smith and Company as well too. His sister still lives up here, Mrs. Hegarty, Joey. She lives up here.
Hegarty,
Yeah.
yes.
She was his.
Has she got a son, Francis?
Big tall chap.
Lives in Germany.
Yeah, one of them, but the other chap lives at home here.
Right. Well, your man Francis, John Hegarty, is on the internet. Balbriggan that every day from Germany.
There you are now.
So he's a big fan.
Born and raised. That's his Uncle Joe.
Oh my God.
Joe worked. He got he worked in the Smith and Company, but new machinery came in, and without going into the details about the construction of a stocking, the heels of stockings were made separate from the stocking itself.
Okay.
They had to be attached later on.
Yeah.
So he worked a healer, which was a highly skilled. Yeah, it was a new job, new machinery, which came immediately after the war.
Right.
When things started pressing up again. The man behind him is Tom Richardson, the Dial. And he would be the skipper of one of those boats you saw there being painted. The Ovoke or the Avoke or whatever you like it to.
Yeah.
Died a young man, he was only in his 50s when he died.
Oh my God.
But a hard working man and a good footballer in his day as well too. Unfortunately the heart gave out him, but a very decent fellow, there's no question about it.
Very good.
He was a fair singer as well too. But and like a lot of other people, including myself, if he was singing his favourite song, he became emotional. So when he'd be singing "I'll Take It Home Again, Kathleen," he would break down and cry. And the lads would get him when he get a few jars and give us "I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen." Not that they wanted him to sing, they wanted to see him crying. So there's some pretty cruel people in life.
There is. I don't think it's really cruel, but it's just something.
Yeah, they'd cut him and all, well done, Tom, keep it going. I'll go back up with that bit again. And God help him, he would sing it out because he was a decent singer. Just the emotions got the better of him.
God love him. Yeah, this is another one. This is taken at the Milestone, isn't it? At the
that's Francis McGowan again.
No, where he's on the right.
That's him.
Yeah.
Is that the Sean Matters? The style of that. I'm not certain. I think it is.
I think it could be, yeah. I think it could be right.
Now, Sean was one of the first people that moved into houses on Fulham's Terrace. That'll be in 1935, 1936, when those houses were built. Yeah. And he was an ex-British Army soldier as well too. He had a brother, and they called the brother, he talked about nicknames earlier on, they called him the Jam Pots. The Jam Pots. Why, I don't know. But the Sean was a great man. He was a great worker. In those days, they went round what they called belling coal. Now, they go around on the cart would be loaded with bags of coal. And across the winkers on the horse itself, they had a bell. Okay. So as they came round the street, they'd pull the reins and the belly came back. So it was called the belling coal. Well, I throw you in a bag.
All right, so to let people know they were coming
to the street. And that you didn't have to go down because there was no deliveries of coal then. You had to go down and got it yourself.
And it took to bring it back.
Yeah, you depended on the bellman.
Yeah.
There was him and there was another one, Mickey McMahon. He lived down in Mill Street. Or you could go to the coal yard and they would provide you with a truck or a conveyance of some sort. They would load the coal, you paid for it and you got it home, but you had to make certain you left a deposit that you brought back the truck. Right. Otherwise you fall for it, your deposit.
Right. So it's like a pallet truck.
That's right.
Like a trolley. Yeah.
I remember them well. Mick Brady. Mick lived to be 101. His grave is well marked up in the new cemetery there. Yeah. And his son lives in the town here. Indeed, I was speaking to him today. And they had an array of weights, for weighing out the coal. But two of the weights were two 56-pound weights. And Mick could pick them up on his little finger, one on each hand, and lift them up shoulder high. That's the Stewart's got 56 pounds. And you couldn't store them on the ground.
Would it be 30 kilos or something?
I don't know what it would be in kilos now.
Oh,
but on each of his little fingers, and he'd lift them up chest high. And he would try that, he'd say.
No one could come near him, no.
Not at all. But they bring back many memories, indeed they do, of Balbriggan itself. The Bunny,
McGowan.
That was his nickname.
Yeah. Why was it the Bunny?
I don't know why they call him the Bunny, but I know that TB, or consumption as they called it, during the late 1920s, early 1930s, was rampant.
Yeah.
And it wiped out hundreds of young people in the town. The Bunny, unfortunately, contacted that, and his brother, Pat.
Right.
Pat missed his place on the Irish team. He was a superb scrum half. He was kept off the Irish rugby team because he was fighting for his place against Mark Sugden. Sugden was a marvellous rugby player as well too. But the two of them contracted TB, and they spent some time in Switzerland because apparently that was one of the cures. Get away to get cured and blah blah blah. Yeah. He married one of the Farrells down at the arcade shop, and I think his son is still alive, but he died off, and Dr. Pat died off as well too.
God.
But it was rampant, and I remember being a priest at funerals with the children when you go up to see the hearse being loaded and blah blah, and the priest say, "You shouldn't be up here. Children shouldn't be up here. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
There's contamination here."
Oh, for God's sake! Yeah.
Between that and what swept away hundreds of children who was diphtheria. They have diphtheria. Indeed, my wife, God rest her, contracted diphtheria as well too, and she was taken away to the hospital. And the parents were told that she wouldn't be coming back, but she did. She survived, but it weakened her heart, and eventually she died sudden as well with a heart complaint.
Yeah, yeah.
We hope you enjoyed that interview with Christy Geraghty. We'll have more from Christy Geraghty right here on balbriggan.net.